the ladies' short program was held yesterday, and it really turned out to be quite a battle. Michelle Kwan is in first place, followed by Tonia Kwiatkowski and defending champion Nicole Bobek. And Peggy Nicole has really been struggling with the injured ankle, but she did all she had to do in the short program.
Well, Nicole did a commendable job for not being trained to her peak. I think she'll be just happy and satisfied just to make the world team. You know, this year, I just think she's trying to hang on.
And she is hanging on right now. And, Dick, the top three have commanded all the headlines, but the final group really features 6 great stories.
Well, in addition to the top 3, there's Sydne Vogel, Tara Lipinski, and Karen Kwan. Yep, that's Karen Kwan, Michelle's elegant older sister. Now, they are intriguing young skaters, and my bet is they just might shine tonight.
Well, having said that, right now, let's take a look back at the performances of our leaders in yesterday's short program. Michelle Kwan, the 2-time and reigning U.S. silver medalist, was the first of the favorites to skate, and she got off to a great start.
She sure did. In this short program, it's very important to complete all the elements. This was a key element, the triple Lutz double toe combination. She did very well. The layback spin, another of the elements that all the ladies have to complete.
But the essence of Michelle Kwan's appearance was that she is the most put-together package in skating. Everything falls together. Everything is perfectly planned. Everything looks good.
Michelle skated a flawless short program. A complete package, beautiful choreography, excellent jump, excellent spin.
And Michelle threw down a gauntlet that a second lady in red picked up.
Tonia Kwiatkowski making her 9th appearance at these nationals. She had skated flawlessly in her practices all week long. And here in the short program, she did not disappoint.
Skating to the Firebird, she completed all 8 elements with great flair. Perhaps the strongest and fastest performance of the afternoon.
Tonia skated with a lot of confidence. She is very sure of this program. She won the short program last year with the same choreography and same jump.
And she skated with security and control and complete confidence. As well as a big dose of flair.
It worked marvelously in 1995 and again this year. And then there was the defending champion on an injured ankle, trying to answer the questions in all of her critics, Nicole Bobek.
And this young lady certainly felt at home with the big band sound, a showgirl through and through.
And this was very gutsy of her to try this triple Lutz double toe combination. She hasn't landed one all week long. She touched down. And this program is only a month old.
Now everyone waited for her to fall apart, but she didn't. Instead, she skated with flair and excitement. And except for one small error, she relieved our worry.
She certainly entertained this crowd. She was absolutely stunning. More than ever, she made us smile.
No one quite knew what to expect when Nicole took the ice in the short program. What we got was pure Nicole Bobek. So can Michelle Kwan shoot down the opposition, facing the challenge of Nicole Bobek and Tonia Kwiatkowski? So here's a look at our leaders, the top three battling for the title, and then a couple of skaters competing at the senior level for the first time, Sydne, Vogel, and Tara Lipinski, and Michelle's sister, Karen Kwan.
In 1994, Michelle Kwan became the youngest skater to ever medal in the senior ladies division at the U.S. Championships. This week, there is another 13-year-old who could equal that accomplishment, Tara Lipinski. Yesterday, she was fearless and removed any doubt that she was ready to compete with the best women in the United States. Second in junior ladies a year ago, she was flawless in her debut in the senior division. Her precocious talent has prompted predictions of future stardom, complete with headlines, TV cameras, and agents. Such expectations have come at a price. That is the focus of our first installment of a new series dedicated to issues and personalities of women in sport.
Women in the Game, a weekly feature on women in sports, is sponsored by Avion Natural Spring Water, the official water of the United States figure skating team.
Expectations, pressures, dreams. Figure skating is full of them, and no one has felt their impact as early on as 13-year-old Tara Lipinski. The youngest competitor ever to win gold at the U.S. Olympic Festival, Tara became an overnight sensation, and the Lipinski's lives were altered forever.
Our lives have changed phenomenally. Tara jumped out of relative anonymity, and all of a sudden the cameras are pointed at you, and people are asking about you, and writing you letters and, wanting to know things about you. It's been both a blessing and a little bit of a burden.
The burden seems to be mostly on Tara's parents. After 19 years of marriage, the Lipinskis must live apart. Mr. Lipinski in Houston for business, Mrs. Lipinski in Detroit where Tara now trains. And they are further encumbered by a $60,000 a year bill for skating, travel, tutors, and a second home.
You have to be in the sport to understand why you would do something like this. And when you're in the sport and you understand it, and you have a child that wants to skate this badly, well, there's not much else you can do but go along with it.
And for a little girl, Tara's had to make major adjustments as well, like living under a microscope.
Tonight, a young girl who is the sensation of the skating world.
Going to let us know when you start.
Growing up without her dad full-time.
Isn't he coming tonight?
Nope. Nope, that's been canceled. He's going to, maybe 2 weeks from now.
And just 2 months before Nationals, she made a coaching change. After traveling around the country, Tara and her mom agreed on Richard Callahan, and that meant relocating again. But Tara is coping well.
I like coming to the rink and being with all my friends, and I love to skate, and I never get bored of it. Every day there's something new to work on, and I don't know, I love to travel, and I mean, not many kids get to go to Australia and Budapest and miss school for 2 weeks, and it's fun.
All right, good. All right, then I will see you.
She seems to handle the pressure better than I do, and that makes it nice because she's always making me feel better. I have a harder time adjusting to it.
The pressure was on at last year's Nationals junior competition. Tara was expected to win. Instead, she placed second. In skeptics' eyes, second might as well have been seventh. But Tara has tried to keep it all in perspective.
Even though they expect that, I can't win everything, So, and this year I feel that I have, absolutely no pressure because I'm in a senior event. I don't expect to do anything. I just want to skate good.
Sacrifice and stress. For now, Tara is content with just doing something she loves. Michelle Kwan is a 15-year-old on the verge of greatness. A year ago, she was a silver medalist at the National Championships for the second consecutive time. Now she looks to join the legendary list of U.S. ladies champions. Nicole Bobek was the latest addition to that list. She rose above mere potential a year ago and won the national title. Now she must defend against Kwan and others in search of the crown only one woman can possess, national champion. Welcome back to San Jose Arena as we present the 1996 State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Let's take a look at the standings after the ladies' short program. Michelle Kwan was in first place, followed by Tonia Kwiatkowski and defending champion Nicole Bobek. The gold and silver medalists from the junior ladies division a year ago, Sydne Vogel and Tara Lipinski, are 4th and 5th, respectively. Hello again, everyone. I'm Robin Roberts, back live in San Jose. One of the dominant stories of the week has been that of Nicole Bobek. Yesterday, she came through with one of the most valiant performances of her young career, overcoming an injury to her right ankle that she has struggled with for over a month. In many respects, that injury symbolizes the vulnerability of the defending champion.
5.6.
As children, we are taught that our choices in life ultimately reflect who we are, impact what we do, and affect how we are perceived. Nicole Bobek has made choices. It was 1 year ago that the free-spirited, often undisciplined young girl did what cynics believed she could never do. Nicole seemingly realized her potential, a national championship. Hard work and discipline had taken her to the pinnacle of success. However, the past year has been filled with difficult choices, distractions, and a coaching change. Questions have been raised again. Was this a fleeting moment of greatness, or can she possibly sustain the standard that she set for herself?
After winning the Nationals, everything just kind of exploded. Everybody wanted me to do shows, tours, shoots, everything. And in a way, it was like all too much.
At the start of the '95 season, the pressure to succeed seemed overwhelming. Nicole's competitive skating suffered. At Skate America, she fell twice and placed 6th, last among 3 Americans. Nicole's lack of preparation was further evidenced by a lackluster performance and a 3rd-place finish at Nations Cup. Was this a young woman who blossomed into a national champion, or the unfocused, free-spirited girl that we had come to know?
I think she's a real typical teenager, with a lot of youthfulness, a lot of spunk, but, she really does need to focus. And, if she wants this title, if she wants to climb the ladder, or if, she's going to disappear, it's up to her. And she's the only one that can do it.
She needed to be a little more motivated in a training mode and also being competitive. And I think that started dwindling a little bit. And at this point in time, you can't afford that.
With less than 6 weeks before Nationals, she embarked on a strenuous 20-city, 4-week tour with a Nutcracker on ice.
I love you too.
While other competitors prepared for the upcoming Nationals, Nicole's practice time took a back seat. The questions continued. Would she be ready? Is she dedicated?
I don't regret doing any shows or any certain tours or anything like that. Some people say, oh, you can't do that, it'll be too much, and it hasn't really changed me at all. It just made me realize that now, at this point in my life, I have more responsibilities than I had last year.
Nicole credits Coach Richard Callahan for improving her control and focus, but in mid-December, they parted ways. While nursing a sore ankle and lacking practice time, Nicole enlisted the help of Barbara Rolls-Williams, her 9th coach in 9 years.
Things just didn't seem to be clicking. After the tour, I was very tired. I really needed a break, and there was no time for a break. Communicating wasn't working out. And so on this tour, I decided that I think I should switch coaches. People need changes in their life and able to find out what they really need. They need to go through good stages and bad stages. Right now, I have a little tendonitis in my ankle, so I've been kind of holding back a little bit on things. The best solution would be 6 weeks off. He'll be healed, but I can't do that.
Choices, decisions, expectations. It was 1 year ago that Nicole Bobek silenced the critics and answered the questions. Now they've returned. How will Nicole choose to answer them this time?
I want to stay national champion, absolutely.
Controversy always seems to surround Nicole Bobek, and there is a defending champion backstage with her coach, Barbara Rolls-Williams. For more on the ladies' final, let's rejoin Terry Gannon.
All right, Robin, thank you very much. I am joined by Peggy Fleming and Dick Button, as always, for the ladies' final. And Peggy, you spent a month on tour with Nicole Bobek in Nutcracker on Ice, which I think gives you a unique perspective into what she's all about. What do you think's going through her mind right now?
Well, Nicole knows she's on shaky ground. She hasn't really prepared, and she is not trained to her peak. She has put herself in a very vulnerable position because she made multiple commitments before the championships. She sometimes has a hard time focusing, but last night she pulled it all together. And I think she'll be happy and satisfied just to make the world team. This year, I think she's just trying to hang on.
And Peggy, you know, the top three have garnered most of the headlines this week, and they should battle for the ladies' title as we welcome in Dick Button. Dick, does the quality of this final group extend beyond that trio?
But, you know, we always talk about the marquee names, but when you scratch beneath the surface a little, you find some awfully interesting young skaters. Karen Kwan is Michelle's elegant older sister, who happens to be just behind Tara Lipinski, a tiny 13-year-old whose jumps spin like a top and has a smile to match. Now, she, in turn, is just behind Sydne Vogel, a long-legged Alaskan who beat Tara to win the junior title. That was last year, but my bet is they'll do just fine tonight.
And when we return, the coming of age of 15-year-old Michelle Kwan when we come back to San Jose Arena for the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships. San Jose Arena, the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships. And a look at Michelle Kwan, the reigning silver medalist, getting ready right now in the warm-up. You know, when Michelle showed up at her first competition of the season at Skate America, no one recognized her. She had an entirely new look, and that was just the beginning.
We remember her just a year ago, ponytail and all. The physical change in just a year has been dramatic. What's harder to see is the change within. Last April, Michelle began a journey of self-discovery with her choreographer, Lori Nicole. They spent 3 days alone in a rink. Lori put on many different pieces of music and simply asked Michelle to improvise.
I can't get into it. I said, well, what would you do to this music? And she started to do, well, Brian Boitano would do this, and Oksana would do this. And I looked at her and I said, well, if someone were imitating Michelle, what would they do? And she, looked at me like, oh, I'm not sure.
With no one to guide her, she was at first unsure. For years, she had been the perfect pupil because she could execute whatever was asked of her. She had become a great jumper, but not an artist. On that day in April, something magical happened when she first heard the music they would select for her long program.
The first time I heard it, it was like the thing that I was always looking for, like searching for 3 years. I've never really got to let go and express how I feel with the music. She told me just to let everything go and just to dance with the music, and so I did, and she found many things that she liked.
From those first movements, they created a program together, one that comes from within. What also emerged as a young woman who knows how she wants to move and has a mind of her own.
She's saying, no, I don't like that. Yes, I love that. Well, what about this? I think there's no comparison from last year to this year.
Once a program is created, refining it is an ever-evolving process. As the season continued, so did their journey, which came to a crossroads one pivotal night in practice.
She just didn't feel like doing it, and it was late at night, and she did the run-through, and it was horrendous. And I told her that she, as an artist, must respect these movements, that with art, you must always be conscious of how you're doing it. It can never be just thrown away.
Lori issued a challenge. By looking inside herself, Michelle proved she was ready.
She did a run-through that almost had me in tears because she got the point.
And she goes up to me, I don't want to say this. No, I won't say it. Oh, but I'll say it anyways. You're an artist. That's what she did.
And I said, yes, you're an artist. And she said, yes, I'm an artist.
She is a much more mature skater on the ice this year, and clearly the favorite. She is leading after the ladies' short program. But Peggy Fleming, there's another skater here in second place right now who has a lot of experience. Her 9th nationals, that's Tonia Kwiatkowski, and she has skated very well.
Yes, she won the short program last year and skated very well again last night. Her practices all week have been going excellent, and she's looking very, very confident. This could be her moment. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, no doubt one of the big stories has been the injured ankle of Nicole Bobek. And joining us right now is Leslie Visser with an update on that ankle. Leslie?
Terry, as you know, this has been a very emotional week for Nicole. She told me her ankle is still very sore. She iced it all day, although she did hit all of her triples in practice today. She has a fluid-filled bursa sac that is putting pressure on the tendon on her ankle. That means it's very painful when she either lands or pushes off. She told me she did consider taking a cortisone shot on Monday, but decided against it. Well, her coach, Barbara Rolls-Williams, said her goal for Nicole tonight is to finish in the top 3 and just make the world team, but Nicole said her dream is to dazzle and defend her title. Terry?
All right, Leslie, I'll tell you what, though. You watching her in the warm-up, she has not looked very comfortable. Moments ago, she came over to the side, had tears in her eyes as she talked to Barbara Rolls-Williams, and it's kind of a tenuous situation at this point here in the warm-up. One of the sensations, though, Dick Button, of this ladies' competition has been only 13-year-old Tara Lipinski.
I sometimes think that when you're 13, there's just nothing that bothers you, and you can fly through the world without any worries.
And 16 is not that much older. Sydne Vogel, another sensation. She won the junior championship last year over Tara Lipinski.
Well, there's a very interesting thing that Nicole is leaving the ice. But remember, there's only 9 seconds left in this warm-up, so she's probably taking care of that ankle. And
yeah, but look at her face, Dick, right now. She has tears in her eyes. It's the right ankle. When she completed her short program, the first thing she did was to take off her right skate. And right now she is walking backstage. Here is the skate order. It's a random draw, Sydne Vogel, then Michelle Kwan and Nicole Bobek right in a row. Second and third, Tara Lipinski, followed by Karen Kwan, and then Tonia Kwiatkowski, who is currently in second place.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nicole decided not to skate.
Currently,
well, in terms
that's not a prediction, by the way.
In terms of the world team, normally the top 3 finishers go on to the world team, but of course there is the issue of a possible bye at some point.
Well, she certainly has shown up at this championship and done an excellent job so far, so I think there would be a great deal of sympathy for her if she had to withdraw.
One of the young, very talented skaters. She's the reigning junior national champion. Here is 16-year-old Sydne Vogel.
A wonderful flow over the ice and natural technique in her jumps. They look very light, very easy.
First move, a triple lutz. Very easy, very smooth.
Sydne Vogel currently in 4th place after the short program.
Well, 2 very neat triple jumps so far.
She turns very straight in the air.
I must say I like the expression on her face. She always, it seems as though she's enjoying it so much.
She really does. Looks very relaxed.
With a double turn in between that and the double toe loop, which I mentioned because that's does not consist or does not make a double jump combination.
Right.
Sydne won the Pacific Coast Sectionals on the way last year, and coming off a tough summer. Had some injuries, a blood clot and a major bruise in her right hip. Finished 5th at the Olympic Festival. But she is skating very well now.
That triple loop is always a very dangerous jump simply because it does not have the security of a toe to help anchor it.
Well, she's very ambitious. She is training and working on the triple axel. And her ultimate goal, of course, is
to win the Olympics with that triple axel.
Music, Les Miserables. I think that one thing that would help her as she makes the progress towards 1998 Olympic Games is to improve her style. Her back is slightly rounded, and I think she could be helped by some proper positioning of her legs and turnout positions, pointed toes,
yes,
things like that.
Dick. It just makes everything look better.
Triple toe. Oh.
She came up smiling. This is a nice position in this flying camel. Nice variation with her arms. A little rough around the edges.
I think what we saw here was a 16-year-old young lady. Very talented.
Yes.
Certainly some bright days ahead of her. Sydne Vogel, and skating next, the favorite, Michelle Kwan, the reigning silver medalist at the National Championships, when we return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back in San Jose with 16-year-old Sydne Vogel and her coach Kathy Casey. Those are the marks for technical merit. They range from 5.2 up to 5.6. And for presentation, 5.3 to 5.5. She came into this free skate in 4th place. And right now, of those that have skated, she is in the lead. But the overall leader is this young woman, the reigning silver medalist at the U.S. Championships. She placed 4th at the World Championships last year and has won every major competition in which she has entered this year. 15-year-old Michelle Kwan.
She is skating to the music Salome.
You immediately see the change, the more of the feeling in her skating and every move that she makes. She's opening with the difficult combination, the triple Lutz double toe.
Very, very.
Very well done. That has to give you a boost of confidence.
And Peggy, you've watched her all year, but we've watched her this week in practice. She has so much focus and discipline.
She really does. She is very uncomplicated, and I think she's a wonderful role model for our young skaters coming up.
This a triple toe. Triple toe. Little bit of a tiny cross foot at the end, double footing.
But that was great.
It was interesting that when she began working on this music, she was really not aware of the story of Salome and its implications of the young girl who danced an exotic dance, removing her veil, the dance of the veil.
Nice triple flip, very solid, nice speed on the landing.
And of course, everyone was looking forward to the head-to-head showdown with Nicole Bobek. We'll get an update on her condition right after Michelle skates from Leslie Visser.
This Salome's dance by Miklos Roza.
This is what she has been working on, is her extension in her spiral.
Leaning just a little bit, but superbly executed other than that.
Yes. Frank Carroll teaches Michelle to be really aggressive on her jumps. Look on her face landing that triple lutz.
Wasn't that nice? Wasn't that nice? And there's the 15-year-old girl coming to the fore.
All that hard work certainly paid off.
Yes. Well, you know, she's such a put-together young lady. I think she's what every man would like to, you know, to see in his daughter. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, she's had a terrific season. Her parents, Danny and Estella Kwan, in the stands. And what a great ending to this year with this performance tonight, along with our coach, Frank Carroll. And right now, we take you over to Leslie Vischer for an update on Nicole Bobek's position.
Terry, amid all this celebration, there is a sad note. The defending national champion, Nicole Bobek, has scratched from the competition. Her coach, Barbara Rolls, said that she told her not to do a Lutz during warm-up, but that Nicole did it anyway, and she twisted her ankle on that axle. She is in the locker room now. She is quite emotional. She's being looked at by USFSA doctor, but it has been announced that she has scratched. And we'll be back.
Nicole Bobek obviously in tears. What an emotional day for her. She has to pull out of the competition.
And watch the security in this combination. Watch the height that she gets. The turn, now the toe pick, now the height, landing, and now watch again, even more height. She does do a little double toe at the end, but really a beautiful, and look at this reaction. That's because that she knew that she didn't do a double axel at the end and instead just did a single. Something that would not cause any deductions.
She will be forgiven for that, and I think as she left the ice, very satisfied with the program tonight, along with her coach, Frank Carroll. And look at how high these marks are for technical merit.
And they're well-deserved because it was an extremely well-rounded program. Controlled, beautiful spins, beautiful jumps, interesting choreography that she followed through and completed. In every respect, that was a well-done, well-put-together program.
And in their marks for presentation, Lori Nickel, her choreographer, working on that program with her all year long. And for presentation, 5/8 and 5/9.
Those are wonderful.
Look, very nice. First place on everybody's vote there.
And her parents, Danny and Estella Kwan. She just said hello to them. And every judge placing her in first place, well-deserved. So Michelle Kwan right now leading the competition. Sydne Vogel in second place. And of course, if you just joined us, Nicole Bobek forced to withdraw from the competition. She's had an injured ankle and re-injured it in the warm-up session.
We regret.
And so on the ice right now,
Nicole Bobek has withdrawn.
as they make the announcement here in the arena concerning Nicole Bobek, and you can hear the reaction from the crowd, just a large groan.
A few boos, too.
Yes.
In fifth place after the short program, representing the University of Delaware.
It's the silver medalist from last year's Junior National Championships.
Tara
and
Lipinski.
Really one of the sensations of the skating world. Only 13 years old. Here's Tara Lipinski.
is exceptionally mature and a very ambitious child.
Look at this double axel. Watch the tightness of this next jump, the triple flip. Watch how close her legs are. And see whether her entrance is a straight line.
Very solid. Triple flip.
Really amazing, isn't it? It's wonderful.
She looks very calm, very confident. In the practices all week, she has been very consistent, going through her program all the way with all the jumps.
This, a triple Lutz, and a double toe loop. And that smile widened a little bit at the end of that jump. She has a very nice back. That's in very good position.
Well, if you were watching the show earlier tonight, you may have seen another young skater in the pairs competition, Shelby Lyons, who finished third, along with Brian Wells. And we mentioned she had an outstanding career as a singles skater as well. Yesterday, she came from fourth after the short program to win the Junior Ladies National title. So congratulations to Shelby.
My first impressions of Tara, seeing her in person this week, was that she is not intimidated at all about competing here at the Senior Nationals.
Peggy, you were only 15 when you won your first national championship, so you know something about having poise at a tender age. Where does it come from? You look out at Tara Lipinski, just in amazement.
There's not a whole lot of nerves. I don't think they've really kicked in for her. I did get a little nervous, but I did have fun.
That was the only double, triple combination, I think, in this competition. I could be wrong on that because we have yet to see Tonia Kwiatkowski.
Tonia Kwiatkowski in second place after the short program. And remember, the top three normally are chosen for the world team. Of course, with the withdrawal of Nicole Bobek, we'll have to wait and see because officially it is an invitation to the world team.
Wonderful.
What a combination.
Wonderful. And she threw that in without the half loop, even with the half loop.
Right, to keep that speed and have enough speed to do the triple.
And look at this. This triple toe loop.
She's adorable.
Isn't she fun? I mean, she really had just enormous sophistication.
She really did. This audience is standing up immediately.
Look at the smile on her.
One of the brightest smiles in all of figure skating. And, yeah, a large applause for 13-year-old Tara Lipinski. We'll be back with her marks and the performance of Karen Kwan, the sister of Michelle Kwan, when we return to San Jose Arena. Welcome back to the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships and the technical merit marks for Tara Lipinski. And the ever-present smile just wiped off her face.
You know, looking at her, she's just adorable. Yeah. Her jumping, really wonderful. This combination at the end of the program is really gutsy. First, a double axel. She doesn't lift as far forward as she could, but then goes right into a half loop and then a triple salchow. And all this at the end of the program. Very gutsy and very strong.
And now the march for presentation. Her coach, Richard Callahan, on the right side of her, and for presentation they are 5'2" to 5'5". The crowd did not like them. They thought that they were low. Very quickly, let's go to Leslie Visser to get an update. Leslie?
Terry, the question now is whether Nicole Bobek will be given that bye to compete on the world team. Here are the factors. The International Management Committee will decide at the end of this competition whether or not they will grant Nicole that third spot on the world team. There is precedent. Christopher Bowman, Todd Eldridge, Nancy Kerrigan all were given byes. Maury Stillwell, the president of the USFSA, said the fact that Nicole toured that Nutcracker tour on ice when maybe she could have been rehabilitating her ankle, in his words, will have no bearing on the decision. Terry?
Leslie, thank you. So we'll have to wait to see who the members of the world team will be. And on the ice right now, she placed 7th at the Nationals last year. Everyone knows her as the sister of Michelle Kwan, 17-year-old Karen Kwan.
She's a very lyrical skater and pretty consistent on her triple jumps. Very much like her sister.
She has very lyrical arms. I think sometimes maybe overuses them a little bit. But they're very pretty.
She's really, I think, enchanting and almost kind of spiritual when she skates. She had the crowd really going when she did her short program.
She electrified the crowd during her short program, you're right. She finished 4th at the Pacific Coast Sectionals on her way here to San Jose, and throughout her skating career has competed against Michelle a number of times and defeated her a number of times.
A little bit of a double footing on that triple loop.
The two sisters do almost everything together. They consider each other their best friend. I think that's really wonderful. And to be able to share competitive skating together. They've got to have a lot of fun.
Karen Kwan compete here in the free skate. Her sister Michelle leads the competition. Tara Lipinski, 13-year-old skater, is in 2nd place. Sydne Vogel in 3rd. But remember, Tonia Kwiatkowski has yet to skate. She was in 2nd after her short program.
most impressive aspect of her skating is her kind of delicate lyrical quality. And the position in this layback in first grade, she is a very strong triple jumper.
She doesn't look like it. She looks very frail, but she is obviously strong doing these triple jumps that she's doing. Beautifully, beautifully done.
The crowd was very happy with her short program, and Karen Kwan was very happy about the free skater. Parents Danny and Estella were thrilled earlier with Michelle's performance, and I think the same right now with Karen and Michelle backstage, who is watching on a monitor, coming out to congratulate her sister Karen. And next to skate, she was second after her short program and a chance to win here in the free skate. Tonia Kwiatkowski. And the embrace of the Kwans will return after this message in a word from our ABC stations. Karen Kwan, along with her sister Michelle and their coach Frank Carroll, looking at the technical merit marks for Karen, 5.2 to 5.3. I think those are lower than they expected.
Well, obviously there was a major deduction in there, and I'm a little nonplussed by it, because I thought her triple jump, technical merit was quite strong.
5.3, 5.5.
And the presentation marks are certainly higher than the ones for technical merit, 5.3 to 5.8. You look at the placement by the judges. Officially in fourth, Peggy.
She had a wonderful flow and a lot of feeling in her skating. These are wonderful moments for them to remember.
And on the ice right now, the last skater of the evening, the last one to try to unseat the leader, Michelle Kwan, in her 9th appearance at these U.S. Nationals. She is second after the short program, the two-time bronze medalist at the national championships, 24-year-old Tonia Kwiatkowski.
She has had superb practice sessions every day. She had a superb short program.
Every competitor in this last group has been very young, age 13 to 18. But now there's a woman out here. Tonia Kwiatkowski is going to have to rely on every bit of that maturity and experience tonight. Nice, solid double axel.
It was very neat and clean and, beautifully executed. This, a triple lutz.
So beautiful. They're pointed, they're close together.
This is her triple flip. Watch the entrance. See whether it goes straight or curves. Oh.
Good for her.
Yes.
She wanted to land that.
Well, if you saw the men's free skate this afternoon, you saw Rudy Galindo from San Jose, California, the last skater to take the ice, come out and just give a magnificent performance to capture the championship. Tonia Kwiatkowski tonight, the final skater of the ladies free skate.
Music, a combination of John Tesh's Day One and Blade Runner by Vangelis. Very, very clean. Much better extension than she's had in the past.
Nice leg turnout position in the layback. The attention to detail is very well done in these programs. Down to her costume, her hair. Very neat.
Triple lutz. Doesn't she realize that that was a very major hurdle for her, and she did it so well. Triple loop. Oh, now that's nice. That's nice.
Well, this is how she has been skating all week long in practice. I'm glad she didn't leave it on the practice session.
Winning here tonight would not only be a major thrill, but also a vindication for Tonia Kwiatkowski, who represented the U.S. at the World Championships in '93, but failed to get out of the qualifying round. She would love to go back at the U.S. Championship.
I think the vindication here tonight is not whether she wins or not, but the fact that she has, at least to this point, skated a flawless program. Oh.
Well, she skated a flawless short program last night, and now she can add this to the list.
Yep.
This is a very interesting ending to her program. She just stops the spin. Well, she didn't do it there. She did it in practice. But beautiful.
Good for her.
Oh.
Good for her. How nice. You know, she has been in this championship, in the Senior National Championship, since 1988.
She's waited a long time.
This is her 9th try here.
She has endured some disappointing finishes, but in her 9th trip to the U.S. Championship, she'd love to give her coach, Carol Heiss-Jenkins, a birthday gift.
Well, it's finally a justification for not only Tonia Kwiatkowski, but also for Carol Heiss, who has worked with her for over 16 years.
They just celebrated in August.
And you can see the total attention to every detail about Tonia's dress, hair, clothes, skates, program, preparation, training, teaching, the whole thing a result of Carol's meticulous care.
Yes, the image of Carol. Carol was a wonderful role model for me growing up in skating, and she was the champion in 1960 Olympics.
And a 5-time world champion as well. And this young woman, Tonia Kwiatkowski, has really earned the respect of those in the skating world.
I think what you can see about it is that she really likes to skate. She hasn't had a lot of support. She hasn't had a lot of offers because she's never really had a great record, a competitive record or name. I just think she basically likes skating, and that shows. That showed in the dedication to continue on and on and on until she finally got to this point.
Carol Heiss-Jenkins on
Glenn Watts
left, and Glenn Watts on the right of Tonia Kwiatkowski as she waits for her scores.
And this triple flip. Now watch the straightness of the back, the straightness of the leg. Look, good straight leg as she taps that toe pick in. A little wide swinging leg, but who cares?
And this is a look at her triple toe, double toe combination. Here she's reaching back for the takeoff. Nice triple toe, just flowed one to the other.
And the triple lutz, a very unusual entrance, crossing the feet and then stepping up. Nice toe, nicely tight legs, a little bit of a 2-foot landing. But, you know, she got it finished, and it was beautifully done.
All of the emotion at the end of her program. A lot of years of hard work.
You cannot believe the pressure that is on these competitors as they step out onto this ice.
And right now, the anxious moments of waiting for your scores.
5.8.
You know what you've done on the ice. You don't know how the judges are going to view it. And for technical merit, the scores range from 5.7 to 5.8.
In my book, these are the second best technical merit marks of the night.
Michelle
Kwan being first.
Yes,
in technical merit.
Well, we'll see if the maturity and experience is going to pay off in the presentation mark.
And here are the marks for presentation. 5.7 up to 5.9. And unofficially, that's just shy of Michelle Kwan. And you look at the placements right now from the judges. In second place, Tonia Kwiatkowski.
On every judge. And that's nice.
That's wonderful.
So unofficially right now, Michelle Kwan is the winner of the ladies' free skate, the overall winner of these U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Tonia Kwiatkowski in second place. And Tara Lipinski, the young 13-year-old skater, finishing third.
And of course, the wild card in the selection for the world team is Nicole Bobek.
And she is with Leslie Visser right now.
While this concludes the competitive...
Terry, a very disappointed Nicole Bobek. Nicole, what happened?
Well, in the warm-up, I just went out there and I tried to push through it. And I knew right away that it wasn't going to hold up. And I said, it's okay, keep trying. And it wasn't getting any better.
What had you skated in the practice this afternoon? You tried the triples. Was it that much different this evening?
It hurt a little bit more this evening. We were thinking about maybe we shouldn't have done the practice this afternoon because it got a little bit more swollen from the afternoon practice. So.
Dr. Warren King, who's the orthopedic surgeon here at the Nationals, what can you tell us about her injury?
Well, she's been fighting with this injury for a while now, and with all the skating this week and all the practice, it just kind of finally got beyond the limit of allowing her to continue skating. So she was unable to compete this afternoon.
How would you describe her emotion when you had to tell her?
Well, she was very disappointed, and she knows that if she went out there and tried to skate, that she probably wouldn't be competitive, and she would probably re-aggravate it, and that might hurt her chances in the future. So the best thing to do is just take care of it and get it healed as quickly as possible.
Nicole, can you tell us your emotions right now?
Of course I'm upset, but I just hope that people don't give up on me.
Oh, do you have a feeling? Do you think you still deserve a spot on the world team?
I don't know. It's not my choice.
Okay. Can you tell us, Dr. King, if you think she could be healthy in March to compete in the World?
Well, I think she should be healthy in March without any question about it.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Thank you. It was very gracious of you to come, Nicole. Back to you, Terry.
All right, Leslie, the side of this sport that is so hard to take. And women's dreams dashed. The defending U.S. champion forced to pull out after the warm-up tonight. Nicole Bobek re-injuring that right ankle. But it is Michelle Kwan who becomes the youngest U.S. ladies champion since Peggy Fleming in 1964 and the third youngest ladies champion in U.S. history. We'll come back in a moment to San Jose. Welcome back to San Jose Arena. The State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships and the ladies free skate just completed here. Michelle Kwan, the U.S. champion. She finished second the last few years, and what a performance she gave tonight. And how about Tonia Kwiatkowski as well? Her 9th appearance at these championships and finishes in second place. And Tara Lipinski, not a bad future, only 13 years old, and finishes in third place. And you look at the rest of the list here. What a wonderful evening it has been here. One disappointment, though, Nicole Bobek pulling out during the warm-up because of the injured ankle. Right now, let's take you over to Leslie Visser for an update. Leslie?
With a very happy Tonia Kwiatkowski. Tonia, you practiced so well all week. What made the difference out there tonight?
I think the training that I've done in the past 3 weeks, we've been doing double run-throughs along, and I had a great week here at practice and in the short, and I just felt really comfortable in this arena, so it's been great.
So I have a great birthday present for your coach, a former champion, her birthday today.
Yeah, absolutely. I walked off the ice and said, happy birthday. It's the best present I can give her.
What do you think, of course, that's Carol Heiss. What do you think in a field of teenagers, one of them right here, the champion, the U.S. champion, what makes you distinct among these teenagers?
Well, just probably being a little bit older, more mature, having more experiences to draw on, and having made Worlds in '93 and not do so well, this is a great chance for me to go back and show the world what I can really do.
Well, you're on your way to the Worlds, and congratulations to these two. First to you, Tara. This is your first year in the seniors. You must think this is easy.
Well, not easy, but I mean, it was my first year, and I was really excited, and I just wanted to skate really well, and I had fun.
And changing coaches, moving around made no difference?
No, I just had to concentrate on my skating, and I was fine.
And to our new U.S. champion, 2 years runner-up, what does this mean to you, Michelle?
Well, I've worked really hard for this nationals, and I'm really proud of what I did this time in my long program, and just really happy for my performance.
Well, it was a beautiful performance. Congratulations to all three of you. Back to you, Terry.
All right, Leslie, so Michelle Kwan, the U.S. ladies champion, and Tonia Kwiatkowski finishes in second. Tara Lipinski, yeah, she shot down the competition tonight. What a performance by Michelle Kwan. She'll head on to the World Championships the third week of March. And we'll return once again to San Jose Arena in a moment. Welcome back to San Jose, and what you're looking at right now is a live shot of a meeting taking place. The United States Figure Skating Association International Management Committee, and they are meeting right now to decide whom will receive the invitations to compete at the World Championships. Normally in a competition such as this, at the U.S. Nationals, the top three finishers would go on to compete at the Worlds. And of course, Michelle Kwan, Tonia Kwiatkowski, and Tara Lipinski, the top three finishers here at the championships. But because of the situation with Nicole Bobek and her injury having to pull out, that is still in doubt. We don't know how long that process will take, so we're not sure if we'll have word for you tonight. And I want to ask you, Dick Button, first of all, there is precedent for this. Would you be shocked if you saw Nicole Bobek go to Worlds?
Well, I not only would not be shocked, I expect it 100%. I expect that they will choose Nicole Bobek. She did win a bronze medal at the World Championships last year. She did win the national championships this past year. She did come and compete. She did get into third place at the end of the thing. I can tell you all of those reasons. My bet is that she will be the choice.
Well,
and I think it's a justified
They're
one.
still meeting. We're not sure if we'll have word for you or not. And Peggy, you look at the performance of Michelle Kwan, certainly deserved this crown tonight, even though Nicole Bobek wasn't out there.
Yes. Well, I think this is a stepping stone for a career for Michelle that's going to go on and on and on. And she has trained so hard. She is a wonderful example for our athletes today.
A chance at the World Championships, Chen Lu, Surya Bonali?
Well, it's going to be tough, but she's right in there for the running of the World Championship.
Well, ABC Sports will be there March 21st and 23rd. The championships run from the 18th to the 24th in Edmonton.